Take a look at this picture on your screen. For those that are listening, I will describe it. It's a man shouting with a strange look on his face. One of his eyes is squinted shut, and his other hand is under his belt, and he's yelling something, I don't know what. But I do know he was heckling guests of the White House. Now, should this man be allowed at the White House? I think the answer is actually yes. But should he get some kind of punishment for his poor and unprofessional behavior? I think the answer is also yes, and that's what happened. The White House suspended Brian Karem's press pass after he was heckling guests and got into it with Sebastian Gorka. He sued, and here's the latest update. The courts have ruled in his favor, and he must get his press pass back. Yes, see, 1 month ago, he lost his press pass on a 30-day suspension, and about a month later, he wins. Wait, what? How stupid is this story? How stupid is everybody? Okay, dude, listen, don't go to the White House and yell at people. However, there is, I said this in the video I covered about this the other day, that he might win because the courts are going to say it's a public institution, the White House, and you need to give people rules. Well, look, the White House has just not been doing press briefings because of this. You see what you do? These people are so annoying. Brian Karem wants to show up and act like a dick. Great. Now the president doesn't do press briefings anymore because of people like you and Jim Acosta. So congratulations, you've won. Now you've ruined the party for everybody. Not like I really care because I don't trust the press briefings anyway. And I'll stress, if you believe that Trump's people are coming out and giving you the gosh darn truth, it's a waste of time. It's the press doing their stupid, I'm going to avoid adult language here, but, patting each other on the back, asking nonsensical questions while Jim Acosta stands up and hoots and hollers like a moron. And then Trump's press secretary just gives them the PR line. It's a waste of everyone's time. And you know what? I don't know what the right answer is because not having press briefings is kind of alarming. We should be able to talk to the administration. At the same time, I trust anyone involved in this process. It's no secret. I don't trust the White House and I don't trust people like him either. So what a stupid, stupid story. One of the most frustrating things to me in the world is that everything is a lie. Every statement, all the press, it's a lie to keep secrets, to save face. Yeah, I'm just sick of it, man. There's nothing, what's real in this world anymore? I guess that's why a lot of people do like Trump, because he seems to be speaking, off the cuff and just kind of blurts things out. There was the joke that Bernie Sanders said something like, if he becomes president, he'll tell us about aliens. It's like, oh, please, Bernie. If they were aliens, Trump wouldn't stop talking about them. The guy can't keep his mouth shut. In fact, The Intercept called Trump the most honest president we've ever had. Now, here's what I mean by I don't believe them. When the PR people come out at the press event, yeah, of course they're not going to tell us the truth. But Trump, when he walks up to a camera and just blurts out we're going to do this weapons deal with Saudi Arabia because it's going to be great for the economy, everybody let out a collective gasp did the president just admit we sell weapons to Saudi Arabia for their war with Yemen so that we can bolster our economy? Normally they have to dance on empty platitudes of security and safety and all this other nonsense. Now Trump just comes out and says it. So I get it. People like it. The world is a big fake pile of crap. But here's the thing. When it comes to the press secretary and these canned responses, I just don't care. So look, the guy got his press pass suspended for 30 days. Who cares, man? You're going to get your press pass back. Well, they filed a lawsuit because I guess for them it's more about winning. And then he wins, and about a month later he gets his press pass back, which he would have got back anyway. Everything's stupid. Okay, let's read this. Before we get started, head over to timcast.com/donate. If you would like to support my work, there's a PayPal option, a crypto option, a physical address. But the best thing you can do is share this video because apparently people need to hear about how stupid CNN is or whatever, man. These stories are just so dumb. But let's read. A judge has blocked the White House's decision to revoke the press pass of Playboy correspondent Brian Karem over a Rose Garden showdown in July with former White House aide Sebastian Gorka. U.S. District Court Judge Rudolph Contreras issued a decision Tuesday evening, granting a preliminary injunction restoring Karem's so-called hard pass on the grounds the reporter had no clear notice of the rules governing press behavior at events like the presidential appearance that preceded the heated exchange. In imposing a 30-day suspension last month, White House Press Secretary Stephanie Grisham said Karem's behavior had violated widely accepted standards of professionalism. That's true. Even Brian Stelter said it. Come on. And decorum. She also argued that the White House made those standards clear last November following an incident involving an effort by CNN reporter Jim Acosta to hang onto a microphone as a press aide sought to take it away. However, Contreras said a 4-decade-old federal appeals court precedent regarding White House press credentials requires that such rules be clear and that they be laid out in advance. He said it wasn't clear that Grisham's letter about Acosta applied at events others than formal press conferences. Oh, are you kidding me, dude? Nor was it evident how one would apply the vague principles Grisham touted. White House events appear to vary greatly in character. Thus, without any contextual guideposts, professionalism standing alone remains too murky to provide fair notice here. Contreras wrote in a 24-page opinion. Wow! He had to write a 24-page opinion on this? I would not want to be a judge. I would just talk at a camera. What is deemed professional behavior in the context of a state dinner may be very different from what is considered professional behavior during a performance by James Brown. I'd have to stress, Your Honor, I think yelling a veiled threat to a guest of the White House violates professionalism. Wouldn't you? And it almost violates the law. Contreras also noted that the event, presidential remarks to a group of attendees at a summit of social media influencers, supportive of President Donald Trump. Excuse me? I was there, and no, I don't consider myself, at least to be a general supporter of the president. In fact, I typically say bad things about him. While I can I hate getting into this. I can recognize some things he does are good. It's fine. I'm not an idiot. I mostly don't like the guy in general. And policy aside, I would prefer someone else. So please, get your facts straight. I will be that token attendee of the Trump event that didn't like the guy. I'll admit he's funny. Okay, he's his self. Listen, I understand the president is funny. I understand some of his policies worked, and I lean towards not liking him for a lot of other reasons. I've talked about a lot: foreign policy, drone strikes, missile strikes. Look, we can go into it all day and night. I'm not going to play that game. But this is what they try to do, and that's why you saw that. So I talked about this before. Vice labeled me left-wing when I praised Tulsi Gabbard, and right-wing when I go to his rally. Why? Because they cannot have the narrative that Trump invited liberals or non-conservatives to his event. There were other people there who weren't supporters of the president. It was mostly supporters, fine. But come on, let's not play this stupid game. The event was also one where jocular insults had been flying from all directions, the judge wrote. There is no indication in the record that the other offenders were reprimanded or even told to stop. Right, because guests are different from press who are there to tell people what's happening. Trump's guests can be boorish as well as he can. Taking into account all the evidence in the present record, the court cannot conclude that Karam's behavior was clearly prescribed by the Acosta letter standard, or even by any widely understood standard of professionalism or decorum within the context of any such unruly event. The judge stressed that his ruling is not a final one on Karam's suit, and that while his credential will be restored for now, it is possible the 30-day suspension could be upheld in the future. Okay, yeah, I get it. But let's look at this. We have a statement now from the press secretary. Oliver Darcy reports. Statement from PressRec, we disagree with the decision. They're saying, we disagree with the decision of the district court to issue an injunction that essentially gives free rein to members of the press to engage in unprofessional, disruptive conduct at the White House. Mr. Karam's conduct, including threatening to escalate a verbal confrontation into a physical one to the point that a Secret Service agent intervened, clearly breached well-understood norms of professional conduct. The press secretary must have the ability to deter such unacceptable conduct. And I agree. It's not an instance of Karam just being a mean person. It's an instance of him telling a guest, let's take it outside. To what? Go commit an illegal action? If you go outside the White House and punch somebody, you'll be arrested. So in what way is that professional? Darcy says, also for what it's worth, asked if the White House will continue to pursue its legal battle against Karam, DOJ could appeal or press lawsuit in current court. PressSec declined to comment. He said, speaking now to Brian Karam about his victory against the White House, quote, "It's good for me, but it's great for the free press," Karam said. Today was about all of us. Karam added that he will be at the White House first thing tomorrow morning. the White House Correspondents Association President John Karl says the organization is gratified by the decision, but adds at end, as we have said repeatedly, we believe everyone should conduct themselves professionally at the White House. Well, I'll tell you what, man. I have no sympathy for you, the White House Correspondents Association, or Karam. He escalated a verbal confrontation into a threat of a physical one. That is unacceptable. These groups of people, these journalists, I'll put air quotes, are clearly at odds with the general public. And this is the game they keep playing. There is a clear media divide. That was the main segment on my main channel today. That the media slams Dave Chappelle when the audience supports it. No one okay, in the general population would agree this guy was acting professionally. He's just a whiny weirdo who is angry that his industry is dying, so he starts heckling back at guests of the White House, who I'll admit shouldn't have been heckling in the first place. But listen, if you're an independent guest of the White House and you act like an idiot, well, that's on you as an individual. Brian Karem parading around, this is for all of the press. No, you make everybody look bad. And I'm sure other journalists don't like you, because I'll tell you this, they all don't like Acosta. Let me not be hyperbolic. Most journalists, because I know these people, really, really don't like the guy. And you're on that list too, as snooty elitists who think you're above everyone else. So you know what, man? You reap what you sow. There's no press briefings. Who cares? You're a jerk. So are the people who are yelling, heckling, but you are no different than them. And that is why your industry is in decay, because you are not professionals. You're whiny losers who can't stop complaining about, oh, it's not fair. Don't yell at me. You know what, man? I can't stand these people. Stick around. I got one more segment coming up in a few minutes, and I'll see you all shortly.